Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast, what up?
What up? Tired, Grandpa?
I'm a little tired myself.
Dudes, we've been saying big shit is among us. Full-fledged season of Derby in our area. Got to go to one last night, Shelby and Mo, hometown of 24 years. Before I moved out, and then I moved back for a while. It's always nice to catch that hometown shit, especially when they got a killer beer garden.
Oh, yeah.
Tunes afterwards. We're running into a problem, and I'm just going to get this out there. I want to know if this is another problem in other states, regions, areas. When you have a class that has family in it or buddies in it, and you run it down to, final three, you ever get into that situation where people are actually getting booed? Because we just sure the fuck did last night.
Well, you know my opinion on that shit. There's guys that run together and then finish it off at the end, and then there's guys that don't. And we're so used to watching those guys that run together, Brock, and then they will completely fuck each other up at the end of that.
Yep.
Rob and Trey.
Yep.
Rob, Trey, Teddy.
Yes.
Rob, Trey, Teddy, Eddie.
Yes. I guess it's my kind of deal when you go and you watch a derby. We understand it's a derby, but if you're running together, you should have a game plan going into that. Okay, motherfucker, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I'm going to have transmission trouble.
Yeah. Or 2 weeks ago, you pulled out the win.
Mm-hmm.
It's my turn.
Well, yeah, but how are you going to win?
When I'm going to win?
How am I supposed to win if you're in first?
If you're not first, you're last. But I guess that's the kind of the deal. You could always make it sound really good. You can make it look good, but you don't have to nose each other up full track.
Well, no, you can fake it.
Until you make it.
Oh, yeah. Well, dude, one derby, and this is the one that I always kind of divert back to. It's the first thing that comes to my mind whenever it's it all come down to people that knew each other. Salisbury, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
We had, 6 cars? 5 cars?
The night Tommy Stark was there?
No.
No? Okay.
The Eddie boys.
Oh, yes. We had six.
5 or 6.
5
whatever.
and 1.
5 Eddie boys and Zane T.
Mm-hmm.
They put on a motherfucking show.
Mm-hmm.
Without singling Zane T out.
Yep.
And that come down to a true winner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they all built those cars together.
Yes. Same scenario as last night. Two of them built in the same shop. I mean, there's a father-in-law, a son-in-law, and a cousin. I understand that. And you're trying to conserve a little bit for the next week, the less work you have in the shop.
Right,
during the week.
God, I'd hate to have a car that was built to run into somebody else and run it into somebody else. Fuck sakes.
03's at that.
Well, I mean, dude, beat his fucking passenger door off.
Yep.
Come on, do something.
Yes.
Make it look right.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that's not in other areas, but it very well could be.
Well, yeah, and it is. It is. Because nobody likes to be booed. I would way rather earn my trophy, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So what they ended up having to do after a couple times of getting a talking to, they flipped a quarter.
That's what sucks right there.
They put themselves in they told him, he said, you've got 2 minutes to get this thing over and done with. I did have some guys after the show was like, well, it doesn't say in the rules how to drive your car. I said, I understand that. I said, but it says an aggressive hit.
Oh my God, I would have lost my shit if somebody come up to me and said that.
And they said and it was an OG guy who's derbied for years.
Of course it was.
He's like, it's our car. I understand those aren't the $40,000 cars.
Well, then don't run that motherfucker at my show.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
And he said, I'm not trying to stick up for him. He said, because I've never heard that many boos in my life.
Kind of sounds like it. And dude, how many times did I tell them guys, I can't build your car, tech your car, and officiate your car.
I damn sure ain't going to drive it.
Somebody's got to drive the motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in my opinion, that's sandbagging. Correct?
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
It wasn't strategic driving.
It started out being strategic, and then it just kind of
went into, I don't want to tear up my shit.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Well, I'm pretty sure that anybody that ran our stuff in our driver's meeting, we will call you out for sandbagging.
Mm-hmm.
If you're driving, we're going to let you drive. But if you are blatantly sandbagging, I will fucking break both you cocksucks off. Third place
goes
first.
to first. Fourth goes to second. Fifth goes to third.
Yeah.
And after talking to the promotion group last night after that ordeal, that is probably what is going to happen again, if it happens again. Easiest way to do it.
Well, and then, because then the trash is taking itself out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not calling the guys that did that trash. Don't take it that way.
No, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor, goddammit.
It is. But that's trash taking itself out, because after you do that, they're probably not going to come back and run your shit. But that is, you're missing out on 25 people. Again, that's just a number I'm throwing out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fucking have it. I don't want it anyway. I don't want to have to deal with that. I hate dealing with that shit anyway. Like, I would not want to have been in Danny or Tyler
Tyler's shoes
last night.
No. What do we always get told? Don't leave it up to the officials. Handle the business yourself.
You can call Rob here right now.
Mm-hmm.
And ask him who he wants to determine the outcome of that derby.
Him and him only.
Yeah.
We've watched him beat the fucking brakes off of his own son at the end.
Uh-huh.
Want to come down to 2.
Yeah.
And was going to beat it some more until Bear Cub caught fire.
Uh-huh.
And was going to beat it more.
Yeah. But
some people are wired different.
Shoe on the other foot.
Trey would have fucked his dad up.
Yes.
Promise you.
Yeah.
For $1,500.
What did you watch Teddy and Caden do?
Fuck each other up. Yeah.
The BDS guys. They're another one.
They junked their own shit last night.
Turn them loose on each other.
Yes.
They don't care.
Help fix it, build new ones, and go to the next one.
Uh-huh. That is what the sport's about.
The hot stock class redeemed it last night. Boy, did they put on a show. When you got Drew Eubanks, you got 2 super overachievers. Onawa Team Show was this weekend as well. 2 guys, Austin Schaefer, Grant Bowling, ran Friday night.
Dude.
Then turned around, drove all night, come back and fixed their shit.
Well, didn't they run the duo?
They run 2 classes. They ran the duo class, and then they ran they won that.
They won the duo, and then got third.
In the 2-man. Drove all night.
Uh-huh.
One had to fix an axle, pull it down, put some plates on it. And the other one had his other hot stock car that he ran in Macon.
Well, I was headed to Charlie's house,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to drive by the fairgrounds to do that. And I seen 44. Well, I was like, these crazy motherfuckers.
Standing in the tech line, I was like, y'all are some fucking overachievers. I said, you tired? They said, I'm tired, Grandpa.
Yeah, I would have been at my house.
I said, you get any sleep? Nope. Okay. But they put on a show.
JM Race Engines is a new business in north central Missouri that have you covered from top to bottom for all your engine needs. Purpose-built engines with the correct amount of clearance will get you to the end of any show, whether it's your local shows or on the national level, where you can't be let down by your equipment. With top-level professional machine work to all engines, your choice of build is totally up to you. JM Race Engines will give you the confidence to push your equipment to the max while giving you your preferred horsepower to boot. From LS builds all the way to your exotic level small blocks that your imagination can only dream of, they have you covered.
But it doesn't stop there. They are also a speed shop that carries a variety of heads, carburetors, intakes, plug wires, helmets, and other safety equipment, and the best VP fuel on the market today to take you to the top. So if you're wanting mild build to wild build, let JM Race Engines help take you there.
That comes to another one. The hot stock class, Drew Eubanks got the Mad Dog in it. Drove like a complete idiot.
Love that.
Love to see it. And watched 2 generations of a 4-generation Derby family going for the win and junked each other's shit.
So they didn't get booed.
No, they did not get booed. Dustin, he'd never won Shelbina, but that was the 4th. I did get notified last night. That was the 4th generation of a Schaefer that has won Shelbina. Austin has won it. I think maybe the last couple years in the past. Dad's won it. Grandpa was the first one to win it.
Right.
And then, Dustin pulled it out. The BDS guys, Normalcy. Wyatt Shore's got the win in a van that he just kind of threw together.
Yeah, I seen his post. He said, last minute decided to run this.
Garrett had a fresh just married because they did just get married on Friday, which was cool. And
poor guy.
Normalcy blowed rear tires off of it, kind of got in a bad, shitty position. Gavin Parsons was driving just like them in a Trailblazer, wide the fuck open. Those guys they put on a show.
Yeah. And I bet the crowd was
Loved
going
it.
wild.
Holy shit. Yes.
That's what I told you. If I was to go back to putting derbies on, I'd put Shelbina back on. For sure. You get the crowd. You got the crowd behind you there.
Yes. Full.
Yeah.
Fucking packed as normal.
And there was only like 2 different occasions that I got into it with somebody in the stands while I was on the dirt there.
At Shelbine?
Yeah.
It was but it was on the pit side of it. Not.
No. I always stand on the beer garden side. So, and it was usually, you know what I'm talking about. I always stood over in that corner.
You got all the drunk fucks.
We'll make them hit. I'm like, fuck you. Give me a beer, pussy. Come on, this fucking fence.
They did a run what you brung class, which that
and then
was.
Everybody was picking on poor little Denton.
Denton, I don't think had to worry about getting picked on. Run what you brung class is pretty much a 5-foot class. They'll kind of say if it looks like a car at 5 foot, you get a stick.
Hey, you know what? I think that'll be a great class to throw in every once in a while.
And I think that's their plan. Maybe kind of one early, maybe one late,
because
something like
that. Denton walking the goddamn dog.
Well, we kind of talked before we hit the start button. A couple of those cars, they got caught with a little something. Couldn't run their class, but they wanted, they paid their money. They wanted to run. So they went ahead and moved up to the Run What You Brung class, and they were not built for a Run What You Brung class. There was some that were built for a Run What You Brung class, Denton being one of them. And you've heard us, hell, we've had Denton in here. He got smart. He stepped away from that tech side. He got stepped away from helping that promotion side. Being married with a daughter and wanting to run. Now that class lets him get a couple shows a year under his belt where he can go have some fun. And have some fucking fun he did. I never saw a Cadillac like break in half.
Oh, yes, we did.
The door, well, not like this. It actually pulled the doors apart.
Oh, my.
And the problem being there was somebody in that fucking thing. But I'm positive he did a Chad Markley and I watched his head hit the passenger's door. I almost think I saw that. Mm. Justin, we had Justin Meyer that run the hot stock class. He had a little something. They got hung up. He had a little shit happen. So he pulled it over in the corner, paid an extra money, put a stick on it, and pulled out a third. Trey Hewer with his no roof sign, light weld from Oskaloosa. Pulled out the second and Denton pulled out the win. That thing is nasty. Nasty, nasty. Michael Zerb, we were informed when he was sitting right across from me that was the first show that he was going to go. I got told last night that a family member scheduled a birthday the same day. He was not informed until later, so he did not get to show up. But when you see a Michael Zerb build, you know what he's bringing, especially if it's an outlaw car or a 5-foot car. You know it's not going to bend. Shit's going to happen. Right. You could mess some suspension up or break an axle or, transmission driveline issue, whatever. But, I mean, it was fun to watch.
It's such a easy, hard class to tech.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I don't know. You might fucking die.
Correct.
Don't kill me. Don't die.
Don't die. That's what was a comment last night. Don't kill
Benjamin Franklin, I think that's a quote. Tax this dick.
This dick. But they're going to turn around, dude. They're going to go to Madison next weekend. Hey, are you going to go to Madison next weekend?
No.
No? Fucker.
Dude, I don't go to derbies anymore.
You don't.
I told you this year was gonna be fucked up. I told you that. I'll jump in with both fucking feet next year, and I'm good with that. But my kids were pissed off last year. I had a bunch of shit I got to do at the house, and I'm stacking all this paper up.
Good. Maybe you can pay off my house too, motherfucker.
Fuck it. Bring it on.
But they're going to go back to Madison.
Have to start calling me daddy.
July. I don't give a fuck. You pay my house off, I'll call you what the fuck ever. The 18th is Madison. The 18th is Cahokia for a Southern Number 9 show. The 18th is a DLS show at Troy. The 18th is a Showtime Officials at Versailles Lake of the Ozarks. So there's plenty around here. The 18th.
You say something about Madison. I don't know. I might get wild hair.
Oh.
I got something sitting at the house.
Chino, California is the 18th.
So you're not going to make it to Madison?
I'm not going to make it to Madison.
Oh, what the fuck? Support local.
They changed, they did that date change.
You wouldn't have fucking win anyway if you were going to go, if you had a chance to go to fucking California.
Oh, no. But see, they changed the date even after that was a planned deal. But guess what the weekend after? I'm sorry, the week after. Heber City, Utah, boys and girls.
I have some questions about that show.
Make a phone call?
Let's do it.
Cool. Be right back.
Since Justin has been on board with us at Hard Nose, we have figured out how much Broadhead Decals means to the sport of demolition derby. His great quality parts are seen from coast to coast and everywhere in between.
But he can do more than just derby products. Your everyday business may need some pep in its step with new banners or stickers. And just give him an idea and let him run with it. Whether it's business related or just want to look badass in the winner circle, let Broadhead Decals work for you.
We do.
Said make a phone call?
We had questions.
How about one half of destructive behavior?
Brad Bowman.
What up, dude?
Not much. How are you guys?
Dude, are you jazzed and fucking just ready to let it rip? Tater chip?
I know we are because we seen a list and whatnot, and holy shit.
Yeah, it's coming a lot faster than I anticipated. This year for me has been the busiest year of my life by far. I've decided I've got too many damn irons in the fire, so going into next year, I'm going to have to step back on a few things. But I've just kind of started digging my heels in this last couple weeks, trying to prepare for this. And you know what? It's finally kicking in. I'm starting to get pretty excited.
Well, we talked to Nick last week, and one thing that we really commended you guys on is we have watched that show in the past, on YouTube and Track Shot Live when they were there. Last year, you guys made that track, in our opinion, probably the best that you can make it from what you have to work with. We never saw that track take out a driver because of the track.
Yeah, they did a really good job on the track last year. We tried something a little bit different. I liked it.
It worked.
Ironically, I did have a few complaints, because it's a lot harder than we normally have, especially on Utah standards. But for us, we enjoyed it, and I think we're going to run it back with that same thing. But we actually kind of have a new kick this year that we're trying out. I'm not gonna lie if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous, but we're actually replacing all of our concrete barricades with rubber barricades. So the rubber barricades are almost pound for pound just as heavy. They're a little bit shorter per piece, but the way that these are going to work, I think, are going to help. When drivers are getting smashed up against the K-rail, I don't think they're going to be taking out their steering as much either.
Yeah, but how am I supposed to watch Marty drive plumb through one if it's rubber?
You might still do that.
Do you know how many views I got on that video?
Well, first I thought you were going to take Rowdy Burns in your lap when he broke the first one.
Well, and I was not going to stop videoing because I was like, I'm going to jump in this header. I don't care.
Yeah, you can get some speed out there. And honestly, we don't really know what these new K-rails are going to do, but the reason why the county decided they want to implement them into the show is just honestly for safety.
Yeah, so drivers don't die.
They don't want the concrete exploding and flying into the bleachers. And so
correct.
That's the reason why they've done it. They've spent a lot of money to do this.
Have you been around those rubber K-rails?
Yes.
Because we've got a couple different job sites that use them. Under bridges mostly.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty badass.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, we've got them all here on site. We've checked them out. We've looked at them. We actually brought one in last fall and, kind of tried to test it. I wanted to kind of see the durability with, bumpers and jagged edges hitting them if they were going to tear apart or whatnot. But the way that they're built is pretty impressive. We had a guy go out and take a tour of their factory and watch how they were built before we obviously made a large purchase. But I'm excited for that. It's going to be kind of cool to be one of the, first ones to run those. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I guess we'll find out in a couple weeks.
Well, the one thing that is cool, when we came out last year, you guys did a drastic change. You did a team show, 8-man, plus your singles. This year, you kept it with the 8, plus your singles. You still got all your youth stuff as well. So you guys are, to my knowledge, the highest paying county fair show in the world. Over $200,000 in payouts last year, and it didn't go down this year.
Yeah, I mean, we live in a really awesome community. it's kind of probably a higher end community for, like the nation standards that probably partake in demolition derby. And here in Utah, demolition derbies are kind of the heartbeat of a lot of county fairs. Like our county fair, they make a lot of money, off the derby, but that helps put on all their other events year round. And so they do put a lot of support into this show to make it successful so that it can help out all of their events for the whole entire year. And then, I mean, you guys kind of got to see it firsthand a little bit over the years here in Utah, but like the people here love their demolition derby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, is it, I guess, take some nerves off of you and Ryan and your whole crew when you have such a badass fair board that you guys get to work with to put the world's biggest county fair show on?
Yeah, I mean, when we came in here 5 years ago, I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. I'd never promoted a show before. Neither had Ryan, and so we didn't. I mean, we've been to a lot of derbies. I've driven a lot, and I've been to a lot over the years, and I've seen a lot of derbies and how they function. I feel like I knew all the good things of a show and all the bad things of a show, so I felt like we could do it. But when we started digging our heels into the derby, there's so much behind the scenes that you just don't understand as a driver or spectator.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those things is the support from our fair board behind. They go through a lot of work to accommodate us. I mean, we ask and we don't always receive, but I bet you for every 10 things we ask for, we get 8 of them. And these guys are very supportive of us. And then, since we started, my wife actually has joined, the team over at the county, and that has really helped us, I guess bridge the gap of communication, because, we have an insider on both sides now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit easier to implement our ideas and take them to the next level.
Well, you guys did implement a change. We hadn't said anything about it. We've known about it for a long time. But when we had Mr. Michael Zurin here a couple weeks ago, he kind of let the cat out of the bag. Anybody you guys are launching the team list. You started a few days ago. Looks like maybe launching a team a day. But one of the teams on Ace Rents It is going to have Chris Williams on that team instead of the tech side. You guys got a different head tech for the team show, and he just happens to be from over here in our way.
Yeah, we we knew Chris was leaving. We knew last year was his last one. We kind of had to do some sweet talking to even get him to stay last year. But when we decided that he was, definitely gone, we kind of started putting our ear to the ground a little bit and paying attention of kind of who we might want that to be. And I don't know why, but Austin Johnson always kind of just stood out in my mind. And the reason why he probably stood out in my mind isn't for the reason that you would think we'd want a head tech, but the reason why I wanted Austin was I feel like every time I've ever watched Austin drive on a track, I feel like he drives Utah style.
He does.
And when I watch him drive like that, and then we implement like the tech side of it too, I want whenever someone's sitting down going through rules with me, I want them to think of like our style of derby. We're different than a normal derby. Maybe a Blizzard Bash or a Gold Rush or a Bash for Cash. Like we're different, and I want to keep that feel. And with having Austin come in, I just feel like it allowed us to keep the mindset of the Utah Demolition Derby. But also bring in a whole new, fresh, outsider look, something that maybe we've been overlooking the last few years.
Well, I think
Missouri and Missouri.
I think we talked about it after maybe the first heat last year. We've always talked the last few years that this build is pretty fucking hard. Let you guys let the builders build. They got to last. And I told you after the first heat last year that I have never saw that heavy of cars fucked up in 8 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, as a promoter, it's a little nerve wracking. Like I've watched, some hard cars, crash over the years, and our Utah track, it's different. I mean, that, like, it's just different than like a Gold Rush or Blizzard Bash track. Those guys are super hard, but sometimes I feel like our track, just being a little bit looser, allows these cars sometimes to pick up more speed in some cases. And the guys here that, like every team show pretty much, it's either hit or get hit. And these guys around here, they 100% know, like, the pace is going to be there, so everybody comes out swinging.
That's an understatement.
Swinging.
Some people swing and miss.
You might get kicked in the dick over that one.
But no, it's and we really do try to let the drivers help us kind of dictate the rules. But I mean, for me, I feel like we're at that point where the cars can't get any harder. We've either got to maintain where we're at, or maybe even go backwards a little bit, because these cars are hard.
Well, oh, really? The three that almost had my lap, they were definitely not butter knives.
Yeah.
Dude, here.
And we added a little bit more bumper bracket this year, too. So
Which that's what they needed. I mean, all jokes aside, the front ends weren't near hard enough.
No, we had people exploding spring pockets in the first round.
Well, I told Nick last week, I said, dude, I'd never thought I'd ever see a car built to those rules junk that fast. And then it just blew my mind when you pulled out for round 2 and it actually still kind of looked like a car.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about a lot of these guys that drive these team shows. I've watched a lot of people put back some junk over the years at all these shows. Like, that was one of the coolest things I love about Demolition Derby is the magnitude that these cars can do together and make shows just like, every round they're back on the track with their car straight again, and motors and transmissions and whatever else they have to do to put cars back out there, but they're out there for the next round and putting on a show again.
Dude, it looked like ants building a farm out there in the pits last year. I have never in my life. It was all hands on deck every time they had them cars at them pit stalls.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, anytime I've ever drove a team show, I'm always recruiting people to go with me before I ever think about starting to build a car, because, one of the quotes that I love is, like, demolition derbies are won in the shop, but I also think that they're won in the pits too.
You're correct. That's why there's not everybody is built for a team show like this, or like a Gold Rush, or like a Blizzard Bash, because if it's just, say, you and Jennifer and the two boys, what help? I'm not knocking her, but what help is she in the pits for you to make it to round 2 or to round 3?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get some tires changed and shit, but it's kind of hard when it's really easy when you show up and have someone that knows how to run a welder, knows where to put plates, and you got other guys fixing suspension, and there's a little bit of need for everybody. I mean, we just did that Vegas show, and my wife and her friend sat down there and cooked food for us, and I mean, they fed about 40 of us between 4 or 5 different drivers. And little things like that help big time. Like, people don't realize that it's all the little things along with the big things that helps, just, helps everybody, get to that next level.
Well, when you just said that right there, that is one thing that you guys do that absolutely blew our mind last year. Is you have food stations out there, you have water troughs with soda and water. Those builders and those crew members never have to worry about going hungry, being hydrated, because you guys supply all that shit to them.
Yeah, and I mean, like, so that was Ryan's idea in year one. Like, when we were just coming in, like I said, we were a bunch of new guys on our year one, and we were trying to figure out, like, all the things we like and dislike. And Ryan says, I hate so bad when I show up to a derby and I don't have enough drinks or cold drinks or ice, or, I'm starving and the concessions are, a country mile away. And so, we decided that we were going to implement the food tent and the drinks on year one. And honestly, like, we have had such great feedback from that. Like, we've continued it year after year. We've tried to improve off of it. And the drivers, I think, just really appreciate that because, as a driver, sometimes you're working on your car, you're not really thinking about food. And you usually have nerves, and so you're not really hungry, but your pit guys are over there just starving.
I don't know why you'd be nervous out there.
Yeah.
I want to make a public service announcement real quick. If you're running Heber, make sure your will is filled out.
I've had my steering wheel fall off a time or two, but
Your TODs are lined up.
Yeah.
Your life insurance is up to spec. Because, dude, we have watched. I mean, you're there. You've been at Gold Rush the last couple of years, helping on the tech side for UD as well. And you're standing on the wall. You see the destruction of those cars on that hard of a track. Your guys' track isn't as hard because it can't be, because you can't actually put product in it.
I don't know. I fucking think it's pretty hard last year.
But I truthfully think the track was so good last year, I think that's why we saw the cars bend more than what we're used to seeing in the last several years.
yeah, I mean, I think that when you just jump up to this caliber driver, it doesn't matter where you're at in the country. I mean, there's a lot of amazing drivers, and I've learned this over the last 5 or 6 years. But above drivers, I used to always like, who's the best driver, who's the best driver. But now I'm just amazed at the builders. The builders across this country have upped this sport to a whole nother level. And I mean, I'd be silly to even think I'm in the same category as a lot of these guys driving these big shows. I've been building cars for 24 years, and I do a pretty damn good job. But when I look at some of these guys' quality of cars and the thought process that goes into them, it literally blows my mind.
Yeah, you just sit back and just go, holy shit.
Yeah, like I literally, like, when I've tech cars like your Golder, I was like, I just get a big smile and kind of giggle. I'm like, holy shit, like this dude just spent a week doing something he may or may not be cutting at the next station.
Whenever we were putting shows on, I've told Derek that a bunch. I was like, I'm learning shit.
Oh yeah, you learn for sure. Like that's one of the coolest parts about being a tech is when you look at other people's shit, and then you're standing on the berm. You kind of get to watch it firsthand. But I don't know. Like, sometimes there's so many cars that you forget who did what and whatnot. But every now and then there's like that one.
Yeah, that one thing that stands out, and you're like, okay, I got to see if that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you want to watch it on, the both sides, kind of after the show, you run over there to kind of look and see, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But that's the beautiful thing about Derby is you could do something 10 times and it could work 9 times, but there's always that one time it doesn't. So, you can't just try it one time.
Correct. Now, last year, we just said you guys implemented the 8-team, 4-man team setting. After the show last year, did you and Ryan and the team set back and say, hey, this is the choice, that we made the correct choice with this. This show is going to another level. And then how hard is it to try to, set those teams? Because I'm sure there's teams all over the country that's trying to get into this thing. So does that, kind of work hand in hand to actually make it tougher for you guys?
No, I mean, so when we first was trying to get the team show, obviously the 18 was kind of like, that was our second thought. The first team was, always 16, because that's kind of the standard that's been set out there. In order for us to do 16 teams, we were going to have to implement another show, whether it was just a day show with no fans or another day. And, honestly, we just didn't know how to make it work with our setting. And so when we thought about going to the 18, we thought it was a little weird at first, but then I'm like, no, this can work. I think we can make it work. And, then last year, we put it out there and we ran it, and I thought it worked awesome. It is really hard to get people to sign up, commit, and stay committed. I mean, I think most drivers have always, if you derby competitively, you've dropped out of a show. Life gets in the way, shit happens. Sometimes we lose some drivers, but we had a whole team back out this year from last year. That the whole team just had too many things going on. Or who knows? Maybe they weren't happy. I don't really know why they backed out. I mean, they all just told us that they didn't want to build those heavier cars, didn't have time, and we're going to pass this year. And so we, filling that spot, I thought was actually going to be a little bit easier than it was, because, if I would have put that spot up, back in November, I probably would have had 20 people wanting it, but we were a little late to the table, and when we were trying to fill that spot there in like February, March, it was a little bit harder just to fill that one extra spot.
Okay.
So it's if I put out, like, right now that we're going to open up a spot for next year, I truly feel like I would have 20 teams trying to get in for that spot, but it's a big commitment. Anybody that's ever done it, they know what kind of commitment it takes, and if they haven't done it, do your research. It's a big commitment to do a show like this.
Well, we were talking, we had a show local last night that I was announcing, and right after it, we was all kind of hanging out in the beer garden, and I said, hey, you guys need to kind of put this thing on your bucket list to go out there. And 2 national level drivers looked at me and said, fuck you. They are way too stupid out there. And I was like, I'm not meaning to say to go run. I am just saying to go watch, take this shit in, witness it. Because we might get 5 million views on a reel out there, but it doesn't justify actually how fast these dudes are going.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's, to me,
and it's from
normal.
start to finish, from the heats to the end of the feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's normal for me, so it's hard to say that. But I will tell you that, like, when we decided that we were going to hire Austin, and I called him up, had a few phone calls with him. Just kind of asking him, questions and stuff. And when we decided that he was the right fit for us, and we chose to go with him, then we actually said, all right, we're going to hire you. And once we started the little negotiation process of what we could do type deal, immediately he's like, here's the deal. I got 3 guys that need to come with me. He's like, they do not want to miss this. They want to be a part of it. And he's like, I trust them. He's like, and not that I don't trust your guys. He's like, but I feel comfortable working with my guys. Mm-hmm. And so he's bringing Mike Zur with him. And I know Mike just to, the tech standpoint. I don't actually know, or selling parts and stuff online. I've never really actually met him. So
he's good shit.
Mike's coming. Tony Miller. Is it McAdams or Adams?
Scott McAdams.
Scott McAdams, yeah, he's coming with him, and so we're actually getting a whole team of new guys rather than just the one guy, and so it's gonna be a little refreshing this year. Like the guys are used to. You mentioned earlier Chris had been teching for us, and Chris is a pretty lenient tech when it comes to like outside the box thinking. And these guys have got to, use that for the last 4 years. But now, Austin's going to be setting his standard this year, and we've yet to see that. So when it comes to Tech Day, we'll start seeing how it's going to be called for this year, and I'm actually really excited for that part of it. I mean, I've talked to a lot of the drivers, and they're like, well, what kind of a tech is he? And here's the beautiful thing: I don't really know. So I told them it's going to be different. Make sure you're calling on for these questions.
Well, what's badass? You named 3 names that were techs at Bristol 2024, and another one has ran Bristol 2024, plus a long time goer to Blizzard Bash as a driver. So you're kind of, in my opinion, you're getting the best of both worlds, because all 4 of those guys are drivers, builders, techs, and a couple of them are promoters. So you're kind of getting a little bit of well-rounded balance of, say Brad builds say you take a caddy and you've got one guy that specializes in Cadillacs, such as Scott McAdams. He knows every inch of that son of a bitch.
Yeah, and that's I think what we're excited about is, like I said, it's a whole fresh look. We're getting some new blood. I mean, we've implemented people. We've had techs come and go over the last 5 years. We have a pretty solid core that's been here since day one that we've been rolling with, and the great thing is like we've kind of built a schedule, and we're going to put like one of the old techs from last year with one of the new techs from this year. Mm-hmm. So the way we do it, we kind of do inspection stations, just as like Gold Rush does. But each station will get that new fresh look and still have a little bit of the old, the home feeling from last year of like, okay, I kind of know what they expect. And so I definitely think that the team that we've got to put out this year, I think it's honestly could be one of your best inspection teams. Like it's definitely for us, probably going to feel like it's one of the best teams that we've had. And that, that's not like, I'm not saying anything bad about our last tech. We are improving. We're doing our best to put out the best product for our drivers.
Well, dude, here's what is absolutely mind-blowing, and go back to last year. Everything was new to you guys on that team setting, and it was an absolute bloodbath from the first heat to the feature. The feature, you guys had Live, Laugh, Toaster Bath, and Dubs Fab getting it on for the 40,000 or whatever it was for the payout. You see a lot of these teams that have actually changed drivers, changed core members. We talked to Nick last week about it. They Jordan, he's not back this year, and I can't remember the 4th guy that they had. And then they added, Parker Lazenby and Chris Williams. The Live, Laugh, Toaster Bath is now Cheater's Chop Shop. Sam Bando is not on that team. They added Josh Holt from California, who was on Dubs Fab actually last year. And then you've got Jared Larson, Dubs, Bando, and Nick Schumacher. Guys, they know what they have to bring to the table to take home that 40 G's, and it looks like they are putting all hands on deck to get that figured out to take home that win.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because, like, at the end of the day, like, in the Derby world, we're all friends, we're all family. I mean, there 95, maybe even closer to 99% of the guys out there I like. For me, there's always that one bad apple, that you just burns you the wrong way. But at the end of the day, most of these guys are all friends. And, the Bando ended up switching teams because he's really good friends with Nick Schumacher, and they kind of have a spot there, and once that, obviously I think Casey and them, didn't really want that to happen, but when it did happen, then they, went out searching for a driver, and Josh Holt from California kind of fell in their lap because he was on that team, and here he is building a great car. He's a great driver. And he's somebody you could actually count on. When I had a conversation with Casey when he was trying to fill that spot, and I told him, I would take over reliability over ability every day of the week.
I like that.
On the team show setting, but I mean, the Schilds lost their spot last year, but Casey was their team captain. He joined Tyson's team. Like you mentioned, Ace Rent's team, Jordan, was getting those concussions, and he decided he wasn't going to build hard cars this year, and Caden decided he was going to start his family, and so, and they went out, Chris and Parker, Parker actually had at the team spot for this year, and, Parker and Chris decided to join up with that team Ace Rents, and, Parker and Chris drove that Cornhusker Chaos together, and they ended up winning it. So to have half of that team, and you guys see Nick Last in action last year,
so did Ryan Schwier.
Yeah, the dude can drive hard. I mean, he's not the smartest driver, but he's one of the hardest drivers. And then TJ's a safe bet. You know what you're getting with TJ. That is a good quality team. Dubs Fab. I mean, on paper, they look like they're better this year. You look at Seeloff, and I think Bando's great, but I also think Josh is great too. And
Seeloff's another one that is just ignorant. I mean, we watched that at Gold Rush. He picked a fight with 3 wagons.
Yeah, if you don't know Casey Seeloff, you've got to get to know this dude. He is the epitome of good people.
He is so much fun. We had so much fun with him. 12
years ago, and I was like, this dude is like a weirdo. And me and him were texting and messaging through Facebook and stuff, and we were both kind of immature little punks or whatever. And then we get a little bit older, and I actually meet him and start talking to him. And now, I honestly, that dude could wheel up at my house any time of the day. I've got a bed for him. We literally feel like him and his group are part of our family now. That is truly how we feel. He's one of our good friends that we've met through Derby now, and that guy, out of everybody in our team show, if you want my honest opinion, there's not somebody that puts more work into their own car and attention to detail than Casey Seeloff.
Well, you called it when we talked to you before the show last year. You said in that single setting that Casey Seeloff had the car to win the year before, but he was running solids or 23s and the track took him out. You said that. So, but you made that so much better. And then when we talked to Casey, I said, hey, no solids. He's like, don't even plan on it. So, I mean, you kind of reiterated how good he is out there, and then they showed it last year.
Yeah. And, I mean, I couldn't say enough good things about Casey. If you go back and so he's up in Wyoming, and, he lives out in BFE. Let's just put it that way. There's nobody, nothing around. And the dude, he works one of them mine jobs where, they work 7 on or 10 on or whatever, and they get 7 or 10 days off. And I'm telling you, on his days off, every day is spent in his shop, and he has his own plasma table, and he is custom building all of his parts, and I mean, his cars are built the right way. But then when they show up to the Derby, the whole family, I mean, he's got all of his wife's family, his family, I mean, they're all there. It is a family reunion, and I mean, it's just so awesome to see that group. And and we're very privileged to get to have that group as part of our show. But Casey's a bad boy, man. Like, and he is just so kind too. Like, he's got a rough side to him too if you cross him. But like at the end of the day, he's just a good dude.
We had so much fun at Gold Rush. I mean, drinking paint thinner, Bloody Marys at 11 o'clock.
AM.
Yeah.
No, dude, what is absolutely crazy is last year, people were questioning. They were like, man, this shit has got to be rigged for the heat draws because, Wyoming drew Wyoming. Delta drew Delta. Heber drew Heber.
It's nothing that the teams wanted, but fuck, I wanted it so bad. I'm pretty sure I might have single-handedly manifested that.
Yeah, honestly, we're trying to figure out how to do it this year because it felt totally staged. Like
just do that again.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I would be curious to see how if we did that again. I'd be curious to see how that would manifest. I mean, yeah, there's some dirty laundry out there. I'm not gonna air, but it would be interesting to see some of the matchups round one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Let us draw the heat draws on Wednesday night.
Well, we could probably work something out like that because we actually sent a message around last week. Ryan's like, all right, I want call outs, and he's like, so he sent a message around because I'm like, we don't need that drama. The drivers don't like it. He's like, bullshit, they want it. So we sent a survey out, and it came back negative. So we won't be doing the call outs, but we were thinking of doing some kind of, like how they do like the little, like when they're trying to figure out the NBA stuff, and they're got their little ping pong balls in there, and the ping pong ball comes rolling down. Mm-hmm. We were thinking about maybe implementing that this year. So rather than just like names in an envelope, it's like everybody's watching the ball come down, and it'd be cool if we could get like their logos customized and put on the balls, and so my wife's been looking into that. So I'm not 100% sure the direction we're headed with that, but hopefully here in the next week we'll have it figured out. But I've said it for years, man. I mean, all demolition derby for sure, but team shows, man, it comes down to heat draws and like how they're drawn to fill out the bracket.
Oh, dude, that will determine the outcome of that derby.
Promise you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen it so many times. We've been to, I've lost count of how many team shows we've been to, but you can almost watch the energy in the room change with the anticipation of who they're getting to draw. Mm-hmm. Like who are we taking? Who are we taking? And then you might get the lower side of that build set, and you see that other team that they're like, all right, we've got the first round. Or you see them whenever they hit nose to nose, and it's two hammers. And everybody's like, fuck.
And one ain't backing out.
Tomorrow night is going to, after this show is going to suck.
Well, last year, the team that in my head going into the show, just looking at their drivers and then looking at their build steering tech, the team that I thought was going to win it was Case Barker, Clay Stewart, Ryan Schweer, and Neil Moore. That was my team that I thought was going to win.
Mountain Land, yes.
They drew Ace Rent's first round, and they got, Jordan got hit, got the concussion, and got pulled out of his car. So, now it was 4-on-3, and I thought, Ace Rent is definitely done and out now. And Nick Last hit the stupid switch, and he, in the meantime of junking his own car, he junked Schweer's car. He put a hurting on two other cars, and Clay and Case both ended up having fuel pump issues.
Mm-hmm.
and it took them out of the first round. At our show, once you lose the first round, you have to win all the way through to be the champion. Case's team came back through and ended up third place. That's as high as they could go, but they ended up coming back through, and they did it with 3 cars.
Yep.
So, yeah, those heat
on.
draws are huge. I mean, you replace, Case's team with, Seeloff's team in the first round or whatever, it changes the outcome of that show.
Yeah, because like what we talked about with Nick last week, you lose that first round, you're fucked. The best that you can get is third. Period.
Yep.
So that's got to be more pressure on you as a driver, you as a builder, your tech crew, or your
Pit crew.
your pit crew behind the scenes, your motor builder, your transmission builder, your rear end builder.
But if you go the long way to that, and you're shooting for third at that point, you almost see more determination come out of that, because they're like, all right, I've got to prove that I should have been
Yep.
in the top of this.
Yep.
So whenever you see them come back in that second round, they're hungry.
Or pissed.
You look at like our drivers list for our team show, and I think that you could take every team, and you could, with the right situation, the right circumstances, the right heat draws, I feel like any single one of our teams could win.
Yes,
Yes.
100%. And we've talked about it a million times on here. I would rather be lucky than good in that heat draw situation for sure. And then with just a touch of luck on your side, a factory faulty ball joint, a missed U-joint, fuel pump failure, you are at that mercy at all times to determine the outcome of your heat.
Yeah, and one faulty part on one driver's car could change for the whole team.
Well, yes,
And
you are one
You're one small fuck up mechanical failure away
at all times.
at any minute.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, if I put 1 through 8 on paper, I mean, you just look at if I took the team that I thought would probably didn't have the best chance of winning, and they draw the team that was on spot 7, and they pull it off, and then the next round maybe they're going against a 1 or 2, but they maybe spots 1 and 2 went head to head the night before and just beat the shit out of each other.
Exactly. With like what you
now
said.
they get to win the next round, but their cars were didn't get hurt on the first night, so now they're repaired and ready to rock and roll for the whole weekend, and it just the heat draws are so important.
Well, and then they're floating mid-pack. Like you just said earlier, last year we saw a shitload of those cars go to spring pockets.
Yeah.
Well, anybody that derbies knows that whenever they do that, you've got problems. I mean,
You got serious fucking issues is what you got.
it's super hard to correct something like that at that show.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of fucked up cars, but at the end of the day, you see how well they do put them back together and get them back on that track. But like those 03s, when they roll into our show, like, yeah, can they keep steering underneath them? Some do, some don't. But most of those cars are still staying as straight as they can be. Like that seems to be the car of choice for a lot of people. But this year, we changed the bumper bracket rule and allowed them to plate to the middle of the spring pocket. That helps out like a 9802 big time.
Ace Performance. With years in the sport of demolition derby, Jeremy and his family-ran business have changed the game right there in Bowling Green, Missouri. All products for your fresh build or to fix your older build. They got you. Radiators, check. Wheel and tire combos, check. Distributor clamps, plug wires, check. Fuel cells, cradles, check. It would be a lot shorter list of what they don't carry than what they do. If you find yourself in need of parts, reach out to Ace Performance on Facebook. They've got you covered.
Okay, so think about this. Last year in a team setting, we're just going to say it, full tilt fucking retard,
Oh, yeah.
right? So now you're going to give them a little bit more. How can they go even more retarded?
Well, they won't have to pick that shot near as bad. You know, like as far as loading a rail, in my opinion, with that extra bumper bracket, say you do lean a little bit harder towards your passenger rail or whatever, you're not going to back out of it if you see it coming, because it's not going to explode in the spring pocket at that point.
Gotcha.
Because I watched that a lot last year. You would see them where they were coming in hot and they'd get bumped or a little bit, and you'd see them lift before they hit that 45. Or, they loaded the side of that pointy or whatever. And that's something that the 10,000 people sitting up in the stands, they don't know what's going on there. But if you're around Derby, you'll see that shit. And I bet we don't have to worry about that this time.
Yeah, unless you're Nick Glass, you just hit whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't care. It was just, if anybody's ever played pinball,
that's what he did round one.
That was him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I'm really curious to see how this bumper bracket rule, it might be a one and done for us. We're going to see how it works out this year. But, on the 03 and newers, we used to make them have a 2-inch gap between their bumper bracket and their engine saddle. When we implemented allowing everyone else to go to the middle of the spring pocket, we allowed the 03s to fill that gap. So now they're locked in a little bit harder too. So everybody got something out of it. My biggest concern is obviously driver safety, and these cars are getting hard. And, when we very first started this call, I mentioned that this is probably as hard as our cars will ever get. If anything, we're going to probably start going backwards.
Well, we're sitting here talking about this team setting, but you have singles events too. You've got the old iron wire.
Oh my God, I've seen so much wasted old iron last year. So much beautiful old iron. Just scrap metal. I mean, they were yard sailing that shit.
And what Steven loves so much is there's no you guys don't run compacts for this show.
That makes my dick hard.
He doesn't have to go get a beer and a burger. But you support the youth. You guys have a beginner's youth class. You've got an advanced youth class. That is one reason why we support you guys so much, is because you guys are moving forward to the future, because all these old retired, close to death age guys that are still running.
The dudes that derbied on the Mayflower.
Yeah. No, when we decided to implement the youth class, we let's see here. I think we ended up with like 16-ish our very first year, which I thought was pretty solid. And then every year since, we've had, we usually sign up 20 kids, and we always have that full. Somebody drops out, we always have someone there to replace them. And we had a kid a couple years ago. He was 17 years old. He'd never drove in a derby, but this kid's like one of them kids that races motorcycles every single weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And, we put him out there, and he's just going full track. And, I mean, he's just, every car he's hitting, he's about rolling. And then, you've got these little timid, like, 13-year-olds cruising around in cars. And at that point, I was like, all right, it's time to split, the advanced youth to the beginner's youth, and split these kids up, and let's get the true kids, the 13, 14, 15-year-olds that have never been in a car or in motorsports, and put them in a class. And the ones, Braxton Anderson, he's a kid here in Utah. I think he might be 16 now, but 15 years old. He probably won more money than anybody in the state of Utah last year.
Yep. Against the grown-ass dudes.
Yeah, he won 9 out of 10 youth classes that he would drive in, and then he would go and drive with the adults, and he may not have been winning, but he was taking money home every night.
Mm-hmm.
And like that kid, I want people to think about this for a minute. He's 15 or 16, so he qualifies for our youth class. He is driving in our team show this year.
Yep, with Uncle Zeb.
Yep. and I'm telling you, he is not the worst driver on the list by far.
No.
Like he is right. Like he's middle pack kind of driver, and like for that quality of team setting. And I'm really curious to see what kind of car he shows up in, because Uncle Zeb's obviously helping him, and Braxton's dad and his uncles and friends, like, they're very supportive of him, and I think he's going to show up with a really well built car. But that's probably the thing I'm most curious to see what he shows up in, because this is him going into a new adventure. He's drove a lot of the wire class stuff.
Yes. That changes. That changes when you go from that wire. Well, I say that. It'll change from going from a wire build to, a full weld car, but you see those kids or those young men that cut their teeth in that class, and they always have to really drive smart. But now you're putting him in like a fucking Sherman tank, so he might not have to drive smart.
Yeah, but that's the other part of it is he's used to driving low key, mellow, and now he's gonna have to find the gas pedal. Like, remember going back to hit or get hit?
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting to see, and I'm not trying to disrespect him, but he did take someone's pre-ran weld car to a show last year in a weld class, and I just don't think he turned up the pace enough. He ended up, he was in the main, but he was one of the first ones out. But I don't think that he matched the pace. And so, in the team setting, it's a little different. You got your teammates to rely on you, and your confidence are up a little bit more when it's 4-on-4. But it'll be interesting. So there's a lot of interesting dynamics that, like I said, the average person at home watching it's not going to understand. There's a lot of stuff when I watch derbies on TV. I don't understand East Coast dynamics either, but for our area, it's going to be an interesting show.
Well, you don't have to worry about it because it's in your area, it's in your backyard. This is a show that we were ready for last year, and
I've been waiting all year to go back.
Well, the end is near, boys. I think we're down to what, I hate even saying it out loud, but I think we're down to 10 or 11 days.
Hell yeah.
Less than 2 weeks.
I'm ready to crawl on an airplane, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I don't think my wife's ready, so...
Dude, I bet you she's more ready than you think she is.
I can promise you that, and she's always one step ahead of me.
Oh, hey, I will
I feel
put
like
you
I'm
on
always working on something she already finished.
I will put you on the spot real quick. Can I bring my drone?
You can bring your drone. You just can't. They just won't allow us to fly it during the actual heats.
Perfect. I can handle that. I just want to do some flyovers of the pits and stuff.
Yeah, you can do that for sure.
Okay. Well, we will see you.
Good. I get to wreck a drone in Utah.
We will see you Wednesday afternoon, sir.
Sounds good, gentlemen.
Brother, we appreciate your time, man.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good day.
Yeah, you guys as well. Thanks.
Later, buddy.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Since 2012, GHE Transmissions has been an industry leader in the purpose-built transmission world. With endless research and development, Jarek has proved to the nation that his builds are ones at the top of the list. From aftermarket cases to turbo 400s, short or long tails, your build options are what you want them to be. Whether you want one of his OG builds or his new Spragless 2.0s, you're just one decision away from changing the game on your end. Customer service that is almost unmatched. Let GHE change your confidence in your builds and let them take you to the front of the line.
Sometimes we talk on here, and this is not a jab at anybody. Some of our interviews or our guests are a little monotone whenever you put that mic in front of them.
Yeah.
Them dudes out that way.
Not that way.
No, they like to and that is identical to how he is standing in front of you.
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
These guys are passionate.
well, dude, they love the sport. At Gold Rush, whenever, because I was down there on that far end, Mm-hmm. And I'd have to walk by him every time. Hey, did you see that shit?
Yeah.
Or this or that.
Yep.
And even after the show, we got to kick it and talk to them guys. It is such a different world out there.
Yes. We kind of hit on some of the teams, with Brad, but we both have a team list on our phones.
Can we do that yet?
We can do that because this isn't going to launch until Thursday, and by that time, they will have launched all their teams by Thursday. So we've already talked to Nick about Ace Rents. We know who's on that team.
Just a complete group of fucking
retards.
I mean,
TJ McPhee, Parker Lasmy, Nick Lass, and Chris Williams.
Well, think about that lineup right there. Parker upped his life insurance. Nick is wearing steel-toe boots because his foot will be in the fan.
Yep.
All night.
Yep. I hope Chris takes the wagon. I hope he takes what he took to Cornhusker Chaos,
but
driving that bitch like a surgeon.
Yeah, but he can cut the back plumb off of it out there.
Out there?
Yeah, well, we talked about this. Dude, if I was in Utah and I owned a field full of wagons, they'd all be on Facebook for sale.
But we watched them last year. We watched Clay Stewart. We watched Case Barker in those wagons.
But we didn't get to watch them drive them. They drove them forward. Back was defense.
We talked with Brad. Charles Race Engines, but I think it's actually Team Show. Sam Bando, Jared Larson, Nick Schumacher, Jared Johnson, Dubs. That's a half team of what it was last year. Cheaters Chop Shop, we talked. We got Josh Holt, Pat Botello, Casey Seeloff, and Randy Maynard. We've got Crashing for Kids Cancer. That's a little bit different look. We've got Ryan and Trent Sweat still on there, but then we've got Thomas Hikes and Graham Barker adding on to that. We just said it. Shift Happens. That's at Braxton Anderson, Zeb Hansen team with Ryan Shivers and Doug Emery. Which is
a way different look. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a team dynamic that whenever you talk about that all-star team.
Yep.
That's the shit you're talking about. Yep. And I'm not taking away from anybody else on that list because we've seen a lot of those guys run together.
We have saw what Ryan Shivers brings to the table.
Well, dude, his build quality.
Bash. I mean, there was a time at Blizzard Bash, he brought a wagon and the lift wouldn't pick it up.
Right.
That man's business, what he does daily, every day over there on the coast with the metal and stuff that he gets.
What you're saying is he's not scared of a welder.
Nope. No, not at all. Small Vic Energy, we've got Jesse McGuire, Skylar Hadley, DJ Cameron, and Tyler Daly. We've seen those guys. Well, we saw DJ Cameron last year. We saw Jesse McGuire last year on the single setting as well. Team Angry Peach, we talked to Tyson a while back. He kind of threw that out there. Stan McDonald, Tyson, his dad Derek Shelley, and then Casey Shields. Casey was on the team last year. They lost their spot, so they picked him up. And then we've got Wild Style coming back with Rowdy Burns, Wyatt Ramsey, Jordan Martin, and Marty Million. So,
Marty, I'm going to be in the same spot.
You're telling them to come your direction again?
I want you to come down there and party all night. Triple B's Tees offer custom shirts and logo designs for all your apparel and merchandise needs, offering a variety of shirts, hats, hoodies, tumblers, and koozies. Triple B's will work with you one-on-one to personalize and perfect your logo. With over 5 years in the business, 20 years in the sport, they live for Demolition Derby.
Chunk and his crew can bring your imagination to realization with zero limitations. So for all your badass tees, choose Triple B's.
Okay, before you do it to me, who's your pick?
You fuck. Like, who I think is going to win it or
Yep,
who I
I
think
want-
is going to be in the championship.
I want top 3.
Oh, you're an asshole.
Yeah, how you like that? Take it, bitch.
I truthfully think top 3. Man, I'm going to get bag kicked for this. Ace Rents, Team Show, Cheaters Chop Shop. But here's the real bag kick, because Ace Rents and Cheaters Chop Shop could draw each other in Heat 1.
Uh-huh.
And then we know that whoever loses is fucked. We know that. That's that rough spot. But can that Angry Peach, can they be an upset, what you would think an upset, maybe against an Ace Rents on the first heat? Could WYO style, dethrone returning champions from last year with Cheaters Chop Shop? They drew each other first round last year. That's when everybody's trying to break K-rails and shit in front of you. So, dude, I just wouldn't want to put no money on it. I mean, I did get a Snapchat that Bag Tap is loading from last week from Mr. Lazenby. so they listen. But, dude, we didn't really hit the single stuff because we don't know that singles list.
Right.
Dude, they went fucking stupid last year. I'm hoping and praying I'm going to get 2 weeks of just full tilt retard driving.
I think you are.
Chino, and then going straight to Heber. Singles, and then to the team setting in the singles. Good luck to like Bryce Broadhead, his very first derby at the age of 12. Little shit. And then his neighbor kid right across the street, the photographer, Haley Joe. Her son is running for the first time as well in the same heat, so.
I talked to Justin
Yeah.
last week. And
His niece.
Yeah. And Justin's got a little something in the works as well.
Mm-hmm.
I told him I didn't think I could get my motor and my carry-on. Because if I could, he would finish that fucking wagon off.
No, dudes, if you can't, serious, you have enough time to book a flight. If you've got vacation.
Ooh, glad we did that, by the way. Not to interrupt, but
I watched them motherfuckers just keep going up in price. I was like,
did you see the fuel
Lord.
price?
Huh?
It's fuel. It's the fuel.
Oh,
Well, that's what they're saying.
that's what they're saying. Yeah. It's a 2 fucking hour flight.
Thanks,
It
Obama.
holds like 17,000 gallons.
Thanks, Obama.
If you can't go, if you don't have vacation, you want to watch it from home, WeCrash.tv will be there. We will be loading up reels all week, just as we did last year, to try to capture those wide-ass open Nick Last on Ryan Schwer hits and the Tyson Shelley the hits, the Ryan Sweat hits, the KCC Loft and Jared Larson hits. We're going to try to get those up close and personal for you. So, we're at 19,000 followers now on Facebook. We're starting that 20,000 spot. I'm going to be trying to be doing the same thing at Chino, California as well, to load those up to bring that show to light to the world. So yeah, we're ready, guys. So I say let's stamp this one. Congratulations to everybody who ran last night. Good luck to everybody running next week. Got any last words?
Nope.
Make junk, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you tired of your compact going into limp mode? Are you tired of watching everyone run circles around you at national level shows? If you are, do something about it.
LMMF Simplified Wiring is the only way to go. With tuned DCMs and simplified harnesses, Ryan has made everything simple for you. Just plug and play. With next level customer service backing up a great product, why not join the winning side? They will get you wired. So you can visit www.lmmfsimplifiedwiring.com or find them on Facebook to get you started.
And enough about compacts. They also do LS stuff. So for big or small needs, hit them up.